A warm welcome to your Barbados Today Evening News Update for Friday, June 18th. Top officials today got down to the business of mapping out a plan to provide relief for residents severely impacted by Thursday's freak storm. Minister of Housing, Lands and Maintenance Dr. William Dugard told Barbados Today a number of agencies, including the Rural Development Commission, the Urban Development Commission, the Barbados Defence Force, and the National Housing Corporation, will be leading the process. He says so far at least 35 houses will need to be repaired, while 8 that were destroyed will be rebuilt.
We met together with the Department of Emergency Management. They gave us a list of all of the reports. We also, subsequent to that, had other reports. We collated all, divided them up for assessment. Those that are houses that need to be repaired in terms of the roofs, we will do that. Those that are houses that need to be totally rebuilt, we're in the process of putting a program in place to do that. And then the houses that people just want materials, we're assessing what materials they need and starting to put those together to provide them with the materials. So that is in terms of the house repairs. Also, the welfare has been doing their assessments as well to see what other needs people have, and who is totally destroyed. A lot of people, neighbors and friends and relatives have taken them in, but we have 1 or 2 that we're trying to place temporarily as well. So we're trying to fix as many of them as possible.
3 senior officers of the Royal Barbados Police Force are in line for promotions effective July 1. Officers Ian Branch, William Yearwood, and Richard Boyce will be appointed to the rank of Assistant Commissioner of Police. The 3 officers were presented with their letters of appointment today by Commissioner of Police Tyrone Griffith and Deputy Commissioners Erwin Boyce, Oral Williams, and other members of the top brass. A new team is promising to clean up the battered image of the National Union of Public Workers 24 hours after a controversial vote to decide whether Union President Akani McDowell should be appointed Secretary General was abandoned at a chaotic special general meeting. Fabian Jones and his Vision for the Workers' Interest Now team launched its campaign for the upcoming internal elections on July 15. Jones told reporters stopping his agenda is working in the interests of the union's members.
The biggest accusation right now is selling out of workers and political alliances and so on. Team Vision will be friend of all, satellite of none. We'll be forming alliances with all and not being cozy with just one so that you can accuse us of favoring or being biased to one political entity. We're working with all or we're working with none. We also want to speak in such a way that whenever workers hear us, they will hear themselves at the end of what we are trying to achieve. And we have to be consistent, whether it's print media, whether it's social media, and we will be having more transparency and more accountability via regular meetings and communication with our membership in real time.
Meanwhile, teacher Daria Michel, who is seeking the post of first vice president, says they will be focusing on improving service to members in a number of areas.
We've been talking to members across Barbados, from the top to the south, and I tell you, the 3 things that we're hearing most is how are we going to get the health care of NUPW working, the insurance system working for the members. We need it. We need it for less money. We need more coverage. We need, and it goes on. So we are liaising with the Sagicor and with the insurance scheme here to make it more useful or more beckoning for the members. The second piece is education and training. We see that there is a hell of a lot of productivity in the public service at the moment, and to be honest with you, we need to up our game even more if we're going to be innovative and meet the global needs where they're at. So we're up for training, we're up for the Academy doing more and more for the members and for the public service of Barbados.
In other news, Governor General Dame Sandra Mason presented the 2020 New Year honors to 10 recipients today. During a brief ceremony at Government House, the awardees were honored for their sterling service and contributions in areas ranging from education, sport, health, and the civil service. In her short address to the awardees, Governor General Dame Sandra Mason thanked the recipients for their tireless work and congratulated them for a job well done.
In each of your fields, and you have excelled yourselves, and we are rightly and justly proud of you. Continue to do the work where you have started, and to continue to be proud Barbadians. All the very best to you and yours.
Sir Cuthbert Gordon Greenwich, one of the top opening batsmen to have ever played Test cricket, was the first recipient awarded during the ceremony. He reflected on his cricketing career and said the camaraderie and hunger for the game is what made it all truly memorable.
I enjoyed every moment of it, and of course, with the group that I was associated with was very professional, and that was something that was always enlightening every day in every game and so on, how professional we went about the job, where we all blended in because people felt, and I think it's still something that people think of, in that players from different parts of the Caribbean can gel so well together and be so successful. But we did it, so it was a credit to all of those who actually knew of their worth and their job that they were given to do, and everyone knew of the responsibility they had to take, and it made everything a lot easier for everybody because everyone was so committed to the job.
Medical Director for Sandy Crest Medical Center and consultant for pre-hospital care at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, Dr. David Beyer, was awarded the Officer of the Order of the British Empire for his outstanding contribution in the field of emergency medicine. Dr. Beyer said it's an honor to be recognized, but he says there's more to accomplish as medical practitioners remain on the front line of the COVID-19 pandemic.
It's been a tough year, a tough 18 months or so, but I suppose it's what we're trained for, so it's just a matter of coordinating or training and executing, operationalizing what we need to do.
Any advice for Barbadians in terms of keeping safe and safe?
Yeah, I mean, certainly the cases are down to a minimum now. However, we shouldn't really rest on our laurels. I mean, it is still, as the ports open up and, different things happen, there's still the threat of escalation. So we still got to do what we need to do in terms of the sanitization and the mask wearing, etc.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To regional news, exercise Trade Winds is well underway in Guyana. The U.S. Southern Command-led training exercise aims to help regional forces improve their military and emergency response skills. More in this report from Newsroom Guyana.
There are 17 partner nations from the Caribbean, Europe, South, and North America. During a visit to some of the training sites on Friday, including Camp Stevenson at Timeri, East Bank Demerara, participating officers and trainers shared what the experience has been like thus far.
One of our primary missions here is to provide medical casualty evacuation in the event that whether a U.S. soldier or a host nation soldier or any of the coalition partners get injured, we have the ability to fly them in our helicopters very quickly to medical treatment so that further injury doesn't occur. In addition to that, we're here to provide training for the host nation and other nations in working with U.S. coalition forces. That way, if the need arises and that becomes a big issue, they already know how we operate, we know how they operate, and it works well as a partnership.
The more we share, the more we can learn. I know talking with some of the U.S. forces out there, they're learning just as much from the Guyanese and the other partner nations here as much as we are doing with the training with them. So it's, even though we're providing training, they're actually learning from them as well.
On the international scene, Canada is extending a ban on non-essential travel with the United States and the rest of the world until July 21. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau insists that while they're anxious to return to normalcy, Canada must do so responsibly.
As we said, we are looking forward to getting back to normal as quickly as possible. But we're not out of this pandemic yet. We're still seeing cases across the country, and we want to get them down. At the same time, we also know we have to hit our targets of 75% vaccinated with the first dose, at least 20% vaccinated with the second dose before we can start loosening things up. Because even a fully vaccinated individual can pass on COVID-19 to someone who is not vaccinated. And that means we have to really make sure that not only people who are fully vaccinated can travel, but that the communities to which they will return are not at risk, because even though they are protected from hospitalization, the people around them might not be. That's why we are sticking with our principle of doing everything necessary to keep Canadians safe first and foremost, even as we move forward on loosening restrictions in a responsible way.
That's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.